Yeah, it's cold. And yeah, I'll just cut straight to it. I know, yeah, this video is for you. Maybe it's time to be alone, man. When you take into account all the frustrations that you have, you look at your life as the same old cycle. You feel like you're much smarter than your circumstances. You feel like you're much better than your circumstances. You can hardly breathe. The same old cycle, fall into the same old traps, being let down time and time again. Well, the issue is, one of many, is that you have high hopes for people who they really don't fit your narrative. They're just close by, you know? And as a desperate man, you're trying to assemble any piece possible to make the perfect picture. There's a lot of P's in there, you know? I hope I'm making sense when I say that. It's just like when you can't find that dream girl, and perhaps the dream girl doesn't exist, but when you can't find the dream girl, you try to turn anybody who's attracted to you into that dream girl. You have all these expectations, and then you get disappointed when these people don't meet them. You know what I mean? It's just not a plug and play type of thing, unfortunately, you know? And when I look at my life, and this is not a brag, it's just the reality of it all. I have an above average IQ. It's over 120. The highest I've tested is 129. So not a super genius, but yeah, I guess you would call that superior. And what I found is, like, I believe the average is like 100 or whatever, for whatever it's worth. But I just found that, like, where my mind goes, a lot of people around me they can't really take it there. Then on top of that, I'm an artist. You know, I'm kind of right brain dominant at times, although the left is starting to kick in as I get, you know, more mature and masculine and things like that, you know. But I just kind of always been like an abstract type thinker. So it's like I need, you know, special type of people to kind of compliment me. But what I found is, like, you know, people, they're not able to necessarily meet me where I am for one reason or the other. So I found myself having to make settlements throughout my life, having to settle, make myself short, try to meet people where they are, and like show people basically themselves. And I'm mirroring people in a sense. And what I found is, like, when I'm by myself, I just kind of realized, like, I feel empty. I feel empty because I'm putting so much into something that's just like, that doesn't light me up. You know, it's not really helping my narrative. You know what I mean? You know, I find myself with a lot of other people making small talk, and I don't make small talk. I would rather, like, not talk at all if the only other option is small talk. Like, I like to talk about dreams and ideas and, you know, philosophy and, you know, just things like that, and talk about art and just creating. And I love creating myself. But what I found is, like, in order to really be who I am, to be the best at what I do, you know, it requires me to be alone. Struggle with that sometimes, even though I'm an introvert, and, like, I swear, when it's going good, it just lights me up. When I have no distractions and my phone's not ringing, it's actually a pretty good thing, you know. But of course, sometimes man gets lonely, you know, starts to feel like a loser if he doesn't have a companion. But through constant disappointment and realizing how fast time is going by, I mean, at the time it's recording, it's almost the third month of the year already. We still got time, but time's just going by so fast, and it's like, I don't want to be spending it. It's like, especially like if I'm going to be wasting it, you know, if I'm like going to have poor time management, it'd probably be best for me to do it alone. You know what I mean? Because spending it around, you know, and there's nothing wrong with being around people, of course, you know. I do actually love being around people, but it's got to be the right crowd. But just being around, let's just say, the wrong women, for example, just because I'm trying to have certain relations, and it's not because we have, you know, anything in common. You know, it's just kind of, it's draining, it's overstimulating, you know, and I'll admit I haven't been a saint, but I'll just like I'll play the game to kind of get what I want, and in a sense that kind of taints me a little bit. And so I've been making it a practice to just be indifferent, and also I bring up being indifferent because there were a lot of times where I was just a try hard, and I would try so hard to try to get a woman to like me, or for this reason or that reason, and would end up pushing her away. So yeah, regretful of that, but I learned many of valuable lessons. I mean, you really do. You live and you learn, and the frustrations teach you more than anything else, more than the successes. The successes get you all big headed and things like that, which I had a lot of experience with too. Never know when you really got some good things going until you don't have it anymore, and then you just got to learn from your losses. But I've matured a lot through all of that, and I'm 33 years old, about to be 34 soon. And as time is going by, the voice is getting louder and louder. Like, bro, you gotta focus on yourself. You gotta be alone. You gotta be immersive. You gotta focus on your craft. You gotta learn how to be your biggest fan, your biggest best friend. You gotta be okay with saying no. You gotta be okay with not going out. You gotta find parts of you that's like it's lying dormant, that's deep inside of you, and you gotta pull it out, pull it to the forefront, and just become a monster. Become a massive contributor. Your best foot forth, and all those things. It's starting to snow right now as I'm speaking, so I know I'm speaking on something good. But what you have with that sacrifice, with that alone time, is more time to do just that, is to allow your voice to be the loudest in your head, and you get to learn more about yourself, and you get to have more time in the flow state, in the zone, by putting a lot of undistracted time into a craft, into journaling, into meditation, into working out, and just becoming a ghost for a few seasons or a couple of years. That's really what I'm buying into. So I definitely been getting in a lot of work in my solitude, but I do have this insatiable nature. I just feel like it's never enough, which could turn out to be a good thing. But, it's kind of being counterbalanced by some philosophical teachings speaking to, I guess, like not trying. And when I say not trying, it doesn't necessarily mean you do nothing. It's just like you don't put all this extra emphasis on it. Like, I got to get so hyped up and, chant out these mantras and jump up and down. It's like, it's nothing like that. It's just like whatever needs to be done, they'll make a big thing out of it and just do it and just show up. You know what I mean? So, like, for example, some things that I struggle with when it comes to like procrastination in general, but like reading a book. Now, I do have a lot of physical books, but I have a lot of digital books on my phone that I'm talking on, that's in my hand all the time. And it's so easy for me to pick up the phone and start scrolling on social media, which I haven't been doing much of lately, but I still been doing more of that than reading. And it's literally the same process. It's the same process. Pick up the phone, you go on the app, and then you do this. You just swipe, and then, you're susceptible to everybody's thoughts and all this news or whatever it is. It's the same process. Go on your phone, Kindle app, book, read, swipe. It's the same thing. I'm reading regardless. At least I get to have control over what I'm reading, There's more of a purpose to it. There's more of a method to it. So I've been working to, and it shouldn't be a long process, but I've just been working to like change those habits Or like, when I go to the bathroom, like when I sit on the toilet or something, I'm not scrolling on Facebook. I'm playing chess. Okay, so I got some chess matches going. I always got some chess matches in rotation, so I'm just playing some chess, And at my best, I'm reading from the Kindle book as well, from the Kindle. But yeah, I want that to be a habit, because I realized like I can easily waste 20, 40 and an hour, minutes to an hour when I wake up in the morning. Especially you wake up like 5 in the morning. That's good. That's great. But I find myself at times wasting that time just scrolling, which, I mean, time probably would have been better just closing my eyes, going back to sleep, And of course, like a couple times in the past few days, I get up at 5 and I'll journal 3 pages, and I might go back to sleep just because, I have to get back up at like 7 or something to take my daughter to school, So I'll try to get some of the extra rest. But I say all that to say, you ain't really missing out on a whole lot, bro. If you feel like I feel, if you feel like what I described in this video resonates with you, take it upon yourself to just step back, ease off the gas, man, and reassess your life. And then perhaps you'll find certain things that can be worked on, certain things that you've been prolonging. You find certain flaws in your methods, and then you just go from there. But you have to break the cycle. Nobody's going to do it for you. Don't wait around. Trust me. You have to break the cycle. All right? Take some time to yourself. Take a breather. Look at everything in your life that isn't working. Look at all the people in your life that are not complimenting your lifestyle. They're not complimenting your narrative. They're not pushing your narrative. Look at all the people who have become chores in your life. And the ones you can get rid of or distance yourself from, just move accordingly. Because quicker than you can imagine, you'll be looking back at your life with a lot of regret, and you will be wishing that you could have just made a couple more positive decisions that would have inevitably led to a greater quality of life. So with that being said, take care.